Good day. Richard Honeywell here on tour in Newburgh, New York as part of our Native American, European, African, Dutch, New York Heritage Tour Series, which will resume in January through October and 2017. And I'm standing here at the Verplank house on the Hudson River. And I'm going to get it right there behind me so you can see a piece of it right there on my right. And I'm standing in the garden that was taken care of, created and taken care of by James F. Brown, who was an escaped African from a plantation house in Maryland, who found his way to the Verplank family in Manhattan. This is in the early 1800s. His freedom was purchased by one of Verplank, I believe it was William Verplank, who was a judge here in New York, and purchased his freedom from the family in Maryland. And when he came to live with the Verplank family here, he became the gardener. James F. Brown cultivated 6 acres of property as a family garden. And I'm walking over real quick to the bulletin board here with respects to him. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, historic garden. And it says here the 4-acre Verplank garden was originally started in 1804 and maintained into the early 1930s. It was begun by Daniel Crumlin Verplank and his daughter Mary Anna, and evolved into a substantial flower and vegetable garden with fruit trees, former gravel, grass paths, etc. For 42 years, right here now, for 42 years, the garden was cared for by James Brown, an escaped slave whose diaries from 1827 to 1869 record weather conditions, day-to-day work on the garden, how much he paid for seed, planting and harvesting, the names of guests to the house and steamboats passing by on the river, that's the Hudson River, observations on his assistants and others, and events of local and national interest. All of this over here, this is just a piece of what James worked on. It was reconstructed in the early 1900s because the house caught on fire in 1931, around there. And so the house was evacuated, the family moved, and there was a restoration project was begun around 1974 for the centennial of 1976. So I want to give a shout out to James F. Brown, a brother whose name we are not that well aware of, you know, in New York City, as one of the significant Africans through the colonial period here in New York. In fact, I believe tomorrow we're going to drop by his burial site to pay him respects. This is part of what we do with African Journeys, acknowledging our people, connecting our people throughout the diaspora, and giving respects to our folks as they deserve. Have a good day. Hopefully we'll see you guys on one of our tours coming up in the new year. Go to my Facebook tour page, African Journeys, or go to my personal page, Richard Honeywell, and you look for an album there entitled African Journeys, Tours and Events. And you will see a schedule of dates of tours coming up in January through October 2017. Peace out. Catch y'all later.